Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today we are going to be talking about bad products. So this video is going to be all about products that did not work for me. Again, disclaimer, if some of these worked for you, that is totally awesome. We definitely all have different tastes, and that's what makes the cosmetic industry so large and awesome, is that we all can find different things. So if you like some of these products, I'm not throwing shade, I'm just saying that they did not work out for me. I'm sorry if I'm kind of blending in with the background. I just realized that like I'm wearing the same color as my wall, but this is a really comfy sweatshirt, so yeah. Sorry. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get into some things that did not work. Okay, so this first thing is from the brand Glam Chick. I found this at Five Below. This is the All About Strobe highlighting palette. I mentioned this in that haul that I did, like that super cheap makeup haul. As you can see, you get a lot of different tones of highlighter, which I do appreciate about this. I like that they gave you a lot of options. I think that's great. The only thing I don't like about this is the formula of the highlighters. Unfortunately, they are super chunky and kind of glittery, and this whole thing was like, I think $5. So, but I don't know. I don't expect cheap products to be bad, because some of my favorite makeup products are cheaper. But this just did not work for me. It was way too chunky, and it just did not look good on the skin. Okay, the next thing, I have a couple primers to talk about. This is the Lottie London Insta Filter Pore Eraser Stick. This, unfortunately, was just so dry. It like, I don't even know how to like, it just doesn't fill in the pores at all. It doesn't do anything, just because it's so dry that it literally just kind of doesn't even really get like come off on your skin. It's so annoying, and again, it just didn't do anything. And then this next one is from Kokie, and this is the So Matte Mattifying Foundation Primer. I love a lot of stuff from Kokie. I think they do lip products really well, but as far as their mattifying primer, I was not a fan. It definitely mattified, but unfortunately, once I put my foundation on top, it kind of created a lot of texture where the primer was, so you could really easily see where the primer was versus all my other skin. Because I don't put a mattifying primer everywhere. I pretty much just put it in my T-zone, because that's where I get the most oily. So it was very obvious like where I had this primer and where I didn't, because it just created like an extra layer on my skin. So I just wasn't a fan. It pilled up a lot. Like when I was blending it in, no matter how I would use it, it would just pill, and it would get into like these little balls on my skin, and it was just not pretty. So I did not like that. And then as far as foundations, I actually have like 3 foundations to talk about. This first one is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It says mattifying and second skin effect. This is a really gorgeous bottle. I love the packaging. It feels very high-end, and this isn't like expensive at all, because it is from Catrice. And it says it's a lightweight and non-oily texture that feels like a second skin. It provides a long-lasting full coverage without mask effect and creates an even complexion with high-definition finish for camera-ready skin. I hated the way this wore. It wore off so patchy, and it really did not look like a second skin. It looked very just gross. And if you would try to like put powder where you were oily, it just made it look so cakey and really weird. And the way this stuff wore off was just terrible. Like, you couldn't touch up with this, if that makes any sense. Like, once it was on and you powdered, like, you had to be good to go for the rest of the day. And I don't know about you guys, but I am oily, so I do powder throughout the day. And this just, no. It did not work for me there. The next one is from Revlon, and this is the Youth FX Fill and Blur Foundation. How do I put this? This is what throws me about this. So it's like for youthful looking skin, right? But if you have any kind of like crease on your face, this will settle into it. So it just doesn't really make sense to me, and it's a very thick foundation. It is super moussey, and it is just like a thick foundation. And like I said, it settles into every line, every little like nook and cranny pore. It like settles into that. It doesn't fill it in and make it look perfected. it settles there and it makes you look even older. And it made my skin look really dry, which again is weird because I have oily skin, but it just made my skin look gross. Like, I just didn't like it. It was so thick and just, you could tell it was thick, you know what I mean? Like, it was looking cakey and it was settling into every fine line and pore. It was just not good. And it just threw me because it was like for youthful looking skin, yet it's a super thick, somewhat mattifying foundation. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And the last foundation is from Note Cosmetics. This is a brand that I found on Ulta's website. This is the Mattifying Extreme Wear Foundation, and I did get the shade 02 Natural Beige. I had a very similar experience with this one as I did with the Catrice. The way that it wore off was just terrible. I don't mind if a foundation wears off. I kind of expect it to wear off around the nose, you know, different, maybe around my mouth a little bit if I'm eating or something. Like, I expect that as the day goes on. But there are some foundations that wear off very like seamlessly, and you can kind of put powder on top and make it look good again. This is not that. It stays where you kind of put it, which that sounds like a good thing, and it is. Like, it's good that it stays where you put it, but it also just kind of like sets there and settles there. So like anything else that wears off, it's just very obvious. And if you put powder, it's very obvious. And it's just not a great foundation. And I don't think that this was super cheap either. It didn't, like I said, just the way that it wore off, it made me look oily. It didn't really keep me matte. And it just wore off weird. So yeah, no. Okay, as far as the last face thing I have is actually a setting spray, and it's from Essence, and it's the Insta Matte setting spray. This isn't a bad setting spray by any means. I'm sure it was fine, but the whole keeping me matte, no. This did not keep me like more matte than any other setting spray or anything. Like, it didn't keep me matte whatsoever. Okay, I have one eye thing to talk about, and I actually feel kind of bad talking about this because this company sent this to me, but this is from Lash Factory, and this is their liquid liner pen, and it says it's waterproof. Very well, maybe. I have no idea. I'm not the biggest fan of liner pens. I just feel like they are not very black a lot of the time, and they like kind of wear out really quickly. This one was just watery. It wasn't black at all. It was kind of streaky going on, and it was just watery. It just looked like gray eyeliner, not black. And I love my Milani Stay Matte eyeliner, the liquid one. That is like black as night. It is so black. So when I go from that to this, it's just very obvious that this isn't as black as that one. So this, I mean, the pen is good. Like, it has a nice, you know, tip to it and everything like that. It's just not black. And it's just really like a watery formula. Okay, I have a couple lip things to talk about. Two of them I found at Five Below, I do believe. Or one of them I found at Five Below. The other one I think was Dollar General. Again, these were in my haul that I did. This is from Beauty Treats. This is the matte lipstick. What are you? The Forever Matte Lipstick in 04. Really pretty color. And I like the diamond shape. I think I talked about that in that video. But my issue is how like not pigmented it is. Like, that was one swipe. And so you gotta like really go back and forth, and it's a pretty dry formula. And it's a pretty shade, but it's just, you gotta work way too hard for that. And then this next one is the LA Colors Matte Liquid Lip Color. You wanna talk about sticky? Here you go. Gorgeous color. This is in the shade Fierce. It's beautiful, but it is the stickiest crap you will ever have on your lips. Like, it's not even like, oh, it has a little bit of moisture, you know. No, it is straight up stick. Like, it is so uncomfortable. Just definitely pass on those. And the last thing is from L'Oreal, and this is the Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick. So they recently came out with the Infallible Paints, like mattes. Those, amazing. Definitely go for those. The Pro Matte Gloss, I love. But as far as the Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick, this is in Plum Bum, and it's a gorgeous shade. I will just go ahead and swatch it. I do like the applicator. It's like that doe foot that's pointed. It's nice. But this stuff is so thick for a liquid lipstick, and for me, I like a really thin liquid lipstick formula. I like the Lorac liquid lipsticks. I like the e.l.f. liquid lipsticks, Milani, the things that go on very thin and that feel like you're wearing nothing. This, however, it feels like you're wearing something. And it just feels like you have a really thick layer of dryness on your lips, and it almost can like peel. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like you can peel it off, and I just don't like it. And it did wear off, you know, it wore like off when I would eat and stuff like that, which is pretty standard. But when I would go and reapply it, because it's such a thick formula, it was like this whole other thick layer that I'm putting on top again. So I just didn't care for that formula at all. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've tried any of these products and you love them, you do you. I'm glad it worked for some of you. Or if you found a way for one of these products to work and you want to give us some tips down in the comments, just let me know. Again, you can always leave video requests down in the comments below. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!